The name is Law Nation. Without hesitations nor deviations to the matter, the Dallas Cowboys this week, we got a lot of things to go over, and we got a lot of things that we got to uncover, right? So let's continue to grind to shine. Cowboys coach Jerry Jones exposed several areas. Let's get it. Let me know if the audio's straight. Let's go. As the room fill up, be sure to hit that like button, share this content, let a friend or a neighbor know where to go when they want to tune in to Cowboys Sports Talk and beyond. Let's get it. Where my dogs at? Come on. Right. They really say ain't no party like a cowboy party. What about a Law Nation groove? Come on. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on. What's up, everybody? Appreciate y'all so much for being part of this, man. I can tell y'all right now, I lost my voice a little bit, man. There's certain words I can't even get out. You know, it is what it is. I think I lost my voice when the pick six happened, you know. So y'all bear with me. Hail Mary! You know, I still got it a little bit. I just can't hit the high notes. But hopefully around Wednesday, Thursday, it'll come back around. But my voice always been raspy anyway, all right? But let's go, Cowboy Nation. I've managed to hear pieces of the interview. Didn't get a chance to hear all of the interview, but it is what it is. Jay Lombardi, yeah, voice cracking a bit, Law. Yeah, it's certain words that come out and it goes away, you know. But I've been on my nutrients and trying to get my my circadian rhythm back together and everything. Y'all know how it was when you leave the state, then come back, and I think that's what happened. Rushing to do everything on that Sunday, you know. But it's Tuesday now, and I was hit up with some conversational piece that there will be no final word tonight, but there will be a round table tonight. You know, the horrid round table of the Cowboys versus the Eagles. Normally I wanted to do it like on a Wednesday or a Thursday, but Jay Tuckton hit me up and I think Boss Cowboy, we're gonna have Cowboy fan talk, Mr. Rome, and as well as the OC. We're gonna have a lot of people. We're going to be talking about the Cowboys versus the Eagles, Lord Brunson, Philly talk, and someone else. I forgot his name. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick. Y'all bear with me. Charge it to my head, not my heart. Let me see if I can pull it up right quick. Y'all bear with me, man. Y'all bear with me. Let me get these names together. All right, Lord Brunson, JC Sports Talk 20, Philly Mike, and Philly Talk. And Yo Philly 500. That's a lot of people, man, that we're going to be talking. And all I can say is, in this situation, bring it. We right here. We ain't going nowhere, baby. We ain't going nowhere. And it is what it is. You know, I get it. It's rivalry week. I heard some roundtables with the Cowboys and Eagles community, and it sounds like just chatter everywhere. So we're gonna have to, if we're gonna do this roundtable thing with all of the people, we gonna have to set some ground rules first, though. You know, that's what I'm gonna try to say when we get there, because I don't like all of the chattering. Right? Everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. and we want to have a healthy debate. I don't want to have just chatter, people out of turn, being disrespectful and stuff like that, because I'm going to have to tell them, get that stuff together, lean forward, get out of here, get out of here with that nonsense. But I heard some roundtables, and it's just messy when it's so many people. So we'll see how it's going to go tonight. But I appreciate everybody for tuning in. It will be at 7:30, and we'll see what we can do from there. 30 for 30 offense. Appreciate you. Every news that comes out about Hurts sounds worse or every time. Could it be serious? This is from Jackie Price. The news about Hurts, it's equivalent to it's the non-shoulder, right? Non-throwing shoulder. And it's sprained. Normally that takes 2 to maybe 3 weeks, and then you got a recovery time frame, and you have to wrap it. It's not like he is a runner, but not like he is the running back. So he can alleviate some of that. He may be more cautious to run, and that is the scale, and that is the price of doing business too when you run the ball or when you get hit. And I'm not saying that that's his only skill set. So it might not come out of the MVP category, right? It may not come out of that situation. But look, I wish the Eagles well. I want them to be healthy when we play them, right? It's not like, they would wish the same. I think most of them be like, they relish at the moment that they had to play Cooper Rush. They relish at the moment that they had to play some of our guys that was under the weather or not playing at all. And they relish that, and they will say, oh, we won, right? They will rub it all in your faces. And that's just how it is from the Eagles community. Some of them, not all of them, but the majority outweighs the intellectual sides of the Eagles, right? They got a lot of people that talk nonsense or what have you. And that's just how it is. That's just how that community is. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's just how they come up. That's their upbringing, right? Well, I'm from Mississippi. When you go to the hood, you're going to see the hood. When you go to the trailer park, you know what you're going to get out of the trailer park, right? You're not going to be eating caviar. You're going to eat possum in the trailer park. And that's just how it goes, man. But neither here nor there. To be a Cowboy fan in modern day time, to represent the silver and blue, you got to be a true Cowboy fan, right? We haven't done anything in 27 years. We kept the coach for 13 years collectively that chewed gum and just spit and clapped all the time, right? Right? And for us to be still rocking with the Cowboys, had every opportunity to jump ship, it's remarkable, man. We got an owner that's talking. That's why I put Coach Jerry Jones. No other owner talk about the Cowboys like this particular owner, right? And got his news on excoriating the coaching decisions and things like that. So we are the most hated and we are the most loved fan base in the world, right? Or most hated and the most loved fan base in the galaxy. That's just how it goes, y'all. All right, let's listen to some of the audio. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to 1310, The Ticket, and also shout out to 105.3 The Fan. But we're going to listen to 105 first, and if I have time to play some 1310, The Ticket, we'll get with that.
Valentine's Day, so let's try that on for a second.
All right, I'm kind of in with that one. Jerry, we mentioned that you didn't speak after the game. You're usually very accessible, and we love the fact that we're like the first ones that get to talk to you, but was there a particular reason you didn't speak after the game?
Shoot, that loss. Jerry wasn't going to be hearing that. Coach Jerry wouldn't want to hear that. We lost. That's why when you win, you make sure. Hey, get out of the way. Get out of the way. Move out of the way. I got to talk to my press. But when you lose, you kind of duck your head a little bit. That's just how that goes, too. Another thing that I want to say. When you get rid of something, just replenish. That's going to be the conversation when you get rid of something, just make sure you replenish. Just make sure you fill in the gaps and the holes that you got rid of. And all this offseason, all this season, we've been talking about one thing in particular, and that was wide receiver. We've been waiting all year for James. Y'all say it with me, James Washington. We've been waiting all offseason, in season, right, to see what he's going to bring to the table. We've been hearing storylines about Jalen Tolbert is a mixture of Gallup and CeeDee Lamb, right? And we have yet to see JT out there. We've been waiting for the ponytail to be hanging out of the back of the helmet, out of Simi Fehoko. We haven't seen that, right? And, of course, what we've seen is hot and cold from Michael Gallup. And I'm just going to say this once again. We've been seeing hot and cold from Michael Gallup since the start of his career. And the brother, I love the brother. I love what he brings to the table. He got injured last season, right? And we paid him the money, and we still had the notion, because people always talk about the money and these sorts of things, but we went ahead and paid him the money. Not saying that he got to elevate his game because he got paid the money, but you pay for what you get, right? So we paid the guy, and through the amounts of money that we paid, said Michael Gallup, people then in return expecting different results because you paid the money. I want to tell you guys, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls around the world, just because someone get paid more money doesn't mean that their game all of a sudden will be elevated. Doesn't mean that just because I pay you the coins that you become smarter, more intelligent, more hungry. It doesn't mean none of that. So I want people to stop looking at the coins and look at what he was doing before. And he was a guy that was hot and cold, coming off of an ACL. And the expectation, just because you gave him the money, all of a sudden he's supposed to be a guy that's consistent. That's not going to happen, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not mad at Michael Gallup. I like the kid. But for anybody to say they want more out of Michael Gallup because he got paid more money, I got land on the moon for sale. Airbnb, prime real estate. Let's get to it.
No, not at all. We were, of course, away from the area where we were sitting, and we were a little bit stunned, if you will, that we'd lost that ball game. And frankly, by the time that our logistics, as we saw them, got in shape there, I just decided to communicate with Mike and then again communicate with him yesterday.
So it's not Jerry is fuming so bad he didn't want to make a mistake saying something. He's so angry at this loss he didn't want to talk.
Well, disappointment. I would say that, I would say that having lost that chance to have that win and really stay in the hunt, if you will, for try to get that Conf Division title, maybe. All of that was on my mind as well. I didn't obviously just breakneck, get on a scooter and try to get down there. Let's put it like that.
All right, Jerry, give us your overall assessment of the game with the way that you guys played and obviously how it eventually ended.
Well, we certainly gave ourselves a lot to work on over the next 3 weeks.
Yep.
And that's not looking ahead, but it's factual. We've got 3 weeks before we enter that playoff. And to get in there, we could get in there in a little different shape, we all know, by Philadelphia losing out and we winning out. But let's start right here. We have several things that we need to work on and improve. I thought Dak either said it or implied it, and that is we were going to go back and try to take the areas that we need to get better in, certainly before we get in the playoffs, and work on those. Well, that game exposed several areas for us to work on.
Yeah, it did.
On defense as well as offense.
Now, before he go more into that word expose, to uncover, right? To reveal, to show, right? Those are the words of the definition, the word exposed. So the Cowboys lifted the veil to uncover, to reveal some of the weak spots on this team. Now, as long as you got life in you, right, you can try to recover from the things that were exposed. Now, when we say that, what are the things that's exposed? The propensity to elevate and to evaluate becomes less and harder as the time go by. This is us waking up knowing that the term paper is due and writing it that morning, and you got to turn it in at 10 o'clock. This is us making sure with less time to present a complete project. And the problem is with this, ladies and gentlemen, people like me and the other content creators been banging on the table. Hey, we need to go out and be prepared for this moment. We need to go out and make sure we replenish what we took away. Now, I'm not saying that Amari Cooper is the end-all be-all, but dog it, you have to figure out a way to replace what you took away. Long story short, back in my college days, we used to, shout out to the Palisade, man, those who was aware of Jackson State, Jackson State, they had a room where it's a co-ed, right? You can share rooms with ladies or what have you. But one of the main things that we understood growing up is that men are different from women, right? Women knew how to replace. When you had a woman roommate, she knew how to replace the things that she utilized and used. But my homeboy, he'll come over there, he'll drink up the last orange juice, drink up the milk, eat the last part tart or those Roman noodles, those top Romans, and say, hey, dog, we like, hey, we don't mind you eating the oodles and noodles, the top Roman, you know what I mean? The Romaine, the last cup of orange juice. But all we looking for you to do is to replace, replenish, and we can keep this thing going. Holler at your boy, man, somebody slinging food stamps. Man, we were doing anything and everything to stay on top. But the name of the game was replenish, replace. Because one thing I know for sure, two things for certain. If I open up that fridge and I don't have a swig, not even like a swig of orange juice, oh man, we throwing hands or something, bro. We want you to replenish, replace. Because if you fool around and do it again, you're not welcome no more over here, So that's just what it is. The Dallas Cowboys refuse to replace. And on top of that, when you do replace, it need to be a situation a like for a like, right? A like for a like. You can't be getting the Tropicana orange juice, drink up all the Tropicana, and then try to replace it with great value. No! We move some stuff around here. We don't do that. If it's Tropicana, I want Tropicana back. Hey, dog, I replace it with some great value. No. And then replace like for a like. We don't want the pulp, man. We don't like stuff floating around in our mouth while we drink. No pulp. No pulp. Come on, y'all. So the Cowboys, they did replace, but they replaced with great value. They didn't replace for a like. They didn't replace for someone with the kind of caliber that we missing. Now, granted, is it doom and gloom? No. The Cowboys are 10-4, not 4-10. We are pretty much likely in the same spot that we were at last season. Now, how can we become better? But we're going to see the things that we've seen diminishing because we haven't replaced a light for a light. C. Brown said no Pope.
And so I look at it as a after the dust settles, I look at it as a go to.
My guy Iceberg Slim says, leave Great Value alone, Law. Leave Walmart alone. Shout out to the Great Value Walmart orange juice. But it ain't Tropicana, you know what I mean? hey, in my conspiracy theory, you know what I mean? All of that stuff since I've been listening to some good old, Dr. Sebi, you don't really want to drink that anyway because look at the sugar content. It's the sugar that's killing us, But, it's a disclaimer, It's a disclaimer, It is what it is.
Work, use these next 3 weeks to basically look at if we're going to put some different personnel in different places, look at how they play. Possibly take a player like Vander Esch and get him ready to go. No, we're not planning on him this week, but certainly get him ready to go and look at personnel as well as how we're implementing the personnel.
Yeah, Jerry, when you talk about those areas, is it fair to say that maybe cornerback on defense and wide receiver on offense would be two major areas of concern, or are there others?
Yeah. Well, I think that at the risk of pointing an area out, we just need to basically not reassess, but to basically evaluate and look these next 3 games if we're going to put some different personnel in there, if we're going to put a different player, if we're going to play it that way, then look at the communication. Now, I'm not making excuses, but we put, at least in 3 different areas, we put 3 defensive players in at a different, than have had a lot of experience there the other day, and that really cost us. Cornerback, linebacker, and you might say what we did at some of our pressure, and all of that on defense gives us a lot to work on, but we can do it. That's the key thing.
All right, Coach.
We have the talent out there to implement what we need to do here, and that's the good news. And we've got 3 weeks to get in here and make it, improve it.
Yeah.
Jerry, Dan Quinn said yesterday that there would be a competition at that cornerback spot opposite of Trayvon Diggs, mentioned Kelvin Joseph, Nashawn Wright, some of the options that they have there. I know you guys just spent a lot of, a sizable amount of capital on Kelvin Joseph just a year ago as a second-round pick. Is it frustrating when you've got a second-round pick like that, deep into his second year and now you're having to have open competitions instead of him just seizing that job?
Let me hit it again. When the opportunity and the lights are bright, your evaluations of the player should start then, right? Now, I get it all off season. We've been looking at, Anthony Brown, AB, right? He's been the guy that's been picked on. They've been shying away from Trayvon Diggs. And then all of a sudden we seen Dayron Bland. He shows up. He goes remarkable. He made 30 look good, right? That boy made 30 look good out there. Because this was the year that everybody changed their numbers, right? We was like, man, we was out there at Oxnard, Cali. And I was like, man, what that Anthony Brown? Oh no, that ain't Anthony Brown. That's Dayron Bland. And Bland been doing his thing. Now, what was surprisingly just to me, is that when everything kind of like boiled over, they kind of moved Anthony Brown around, but they kept him on the outside. And the craziest thing of it all was Dayron Bland, they moved him back inside through the course of the season. But all through preseason, all through training camp, that brother been balling out on the outside. Granted, I don't want to throw a lot of stuff at this young rookie, but I truly believe that the Cowboys, the person that should win the outside cornerback role now should be Dayron Bland. But the man, how many interceptions he got? He got 4, right? Shoo, that's good from a slot spot. Really good. I think that we haven't had a cornerback that had 4 interceptions in almost 20 years from the slot, from that slot guy, So he's doing a remarkable job. I think that the Cowboys should throw in, and this is just my thoughts, that competition to the outside corner. Dayron Bland, Trayvon Mullen, and of course still Kelvin Joseph. All 3 of those guys should be fighting for that. You got Sheffield and Mackenzie Alexander. They can squeeze right inside the slot, and the rest could be history from here. I would love for the Cowboys to do that. Yeah, Bland leads, as Fresh King 36, Bland leads our team in INTs for right now. Yeah. And he's been remarkable with 4. That's good.
I wouldn't call it frustrating. I would say that that's the way it goes. Some draft picks, even though they're high draft picks, take time. Some draft picks don't get there like you want them to. There's a lot of varying in between.
Oh, and Nashawn Wright, I left out Nashawn Wright as well on the outside. Nashawn Wright. He when he called his number, when the defensive coordinator called his number, he showed up pretty good, especially on that post route and that outside route. He did a great job.
Putting the complete responsibility in a critical situation and on the come or getting better. And we're now getting down to the point where it's when we get in that playoff, it's win or go home, that we've got to put more emphasis on being able to play that day, that way against that team. And so we've got to not look at the future so much and look more at right now, this afternoon. What gives us the best chance? And by the way, what scheme gives us the best chance with that personnel? We can really zero in on it because that much at stake. So you might look at your personnel a little different is really what I'm trying to say, or what you're trying to do with your personnel than you do back up in the season.
Jerry Jones joined us here at 105 through the Fan. I wanted to get your take on the final series of regulation. Run, and then pass on 3rd and 10. What was your what were you thinking during that series? Did you like the passive or the conservative approach? And then how'd you feel about going aggressive on 3rd and 10?
I'm not going to second guess that call. The world knows whether you go with a run the clock approach or whether you try to get it all right there. And I'm not going to second guess that call because it's too easy to do the opposite since it didn't work.
Oh, come on, Coach Jerry Jones. Now this is, I haven't heard this interview. But this right here, the follow-up question. Ooh, but then I know if the follow-up question is this right here, he's going to say,
"Get your damn act together."
I know he will say that. If one of the people that's on the panel say, okay, I get it, you won't second guess the call, but can you second guess the play of the call? Then this would drop. I'm gonna go crazy if they ask Jerry Jones, okay, you're not gonna second guess the call, but what about the second guessing of the play, the design of the play, sending verts on a 3rd and 10? Now, if they say that, boy. Let's see what they're going to say. Let's see.
On your second guessing. But I understand what both were trying to do. I'm not so sure that it's as simple as run or pass there, which really is where most of the critique comes from, because if you run time off the clock.
Yeah, I get that.
As there's another part of that equation, and it's the route and what you tried to do when you did decide to pass the ball. and that has to be and is certainly critiqued and looked at.
Yeah,
in other words,
okay,
the
good.
route
Woo.
and the people you've got in the route. And that's very critical here if
Yeah.
we're going to decide to throw it rather than run time off the clock.
Now, Jerry did explain that part. Woo! So they can't really ask him that, but they can push on that a little bit. Let's listen.
Jerry,
And that's the kind of thing that you'd be evaluating yesterday and evaluating this week, and if you run into the same circumstance again.
Damn, Jerry's smart. Jerry's smart. He said he covered it up, baby. Where my pig at? Let me pull my pig up. Y'all bear with me. Let me find my little pig. Because damn, Jerry's smart. Ooh, because he said that can't be evaluated. Oh my gosh, man, that 80, baby. That dude's smart. Let me put that pig up. Where that pig at? Come on, piggy. Yeah. Hey, little piggy. Hey. She's just getting big. She's just getting so big. She getting so big, boy. Oh my goodness. Jerry at the age of 80, he whooped me on that one because he said, I'm not gonna second guess the call. That put lipstick over everything. That actually saved the coaching philosophy. Right? And then he goes into more rambling of, hey, if you get it, then hey, game over. But he put the lipstick on it because he said, now what we can do is critique the route. Woo! And he took all of the fire away from me because I was ready to shame the man. I was ready to shame him, right? We can critique the routes. And then he goes into more details of before I can say, hey, let's critique it. And then he goes into saying that that's what we're going to do. If we see it again, then we're going to really, really, evaluate that. Boy, that dude was brilliant, man.
Jerry, we thought that Dak played very, very well. That last interception, unfortunate. We thought it was right there for Noah Brown to catch. The first interception, maybe he got his arm hit. How did you evaluate Dak's play on Sunday?
Outstanding. We can win with him playing like that to be trite. I thought he played outstanding. And as we see, he wasn't playing against chopped liver out there. And so I thought he did really well. I thought he made good decisions. Overall, we can, if he'll play like that, we can win most games.
Jerry, this is the second game here in about a month on the road where a big lead was lost. You had the 14-point lead in Green Bay, 17 points this weekend. Is that in particular concerning, some of these collapses on the road, especially knowing that if you don't win the division, you're going to have to play some road playoff games?
I've looked at these comebacks that we're having. No number is safe. And I think it has to do with the confidence and the I think it has to do with just a willingness to be more aggressive across the National Football League. And so I think that's why the leads aren't safe. And when I say safe, I don't know that they've...
He needs some milk.
Jerry need a cough button. He's pivoting. I mean, he's ruminating really good because what he can say in this point, because we've seen this across the league. Big, massive comebacks that we haven't seen in many of moons, right? And that's just crazy how Jerry is wise enough. He had to have somebody in his ear wise enough to pivot off the Cowboys and make it not just the Cowboys issue, but make it a league issue is remarkable, man. You got to give that man's credence and kudos to wiggle around and be politician Jerry at this point. I don't know what else I could say. He dodged that one so well, whereas he didn't make it a Cowboys issue. He made it a league issue of the ability for teams to come back. Now, here's my thing. Collectively speaking, if you up by 14, if you up by 17, you need to figure out a way, league, and as well as with the Cowboys, to secure your win. Maybe, just maybe, pass happy is not the way. You got to start eating up the clock, and there are ways where you can be still aggressive, and still don't lose, and still present a level of physicality and get out of certain looks. We had situations where we stopped running 12 personnel. We stopped running 13 personnel. We abandoned 14 personnel. And for the love of God, we don't have a fullback, right? But that's why it's always important to have a complete team so that you know for sure if my offense got me up by 17, now it's time for trench warfare. We finna get them down. We finna play stingy ball. We are not finna – look, it's just like playing dominoes. It is. It's just like playing dominoes. You got domino. You up by a few points. Sometimes it's good not to take the 20 or 25. You can lock yourself out of the board. 10, 15. Right? Sometimes it's good to take the 10 to 15 juxtaposed to trying to get to 25 and 30. But that's why we also call this game of football that we love more of chess versus checkers. You can't win with all of your pawns.
Ever should use that word safe, but I mean, you're seeing a lot of comebacks, and you're seeing them a lot against teams that are some of the ones in our particular case that have a lot of respect for that defense. But the one thing about Sunday, let's give the Jaguars and let's give their quarterback everything he's due. That was an outstanding game he played. And he neutered what we wanted to do with him on pressuring him. And that had everything to do with him having the skill set that he's got. We had trouble tackling him. We were on him a few times for losses. We couldn't get him down like you would think. He had something to do with that.
Jerry, are you concerned teams might be figuring the defense out?
True that.
Oh, I think that's what you do. And in football, as you go in and as teams move along, you adjust to meet what they do best. That's the name of the game. I'm not trying to be trite. That's why really in your portfolio, whether it's offense or defense side of the ball, that's why you need to have a large portfolio as you go into the playoffs.
No doubt, no doubt. Hey, on Facebook, man, hey, I don't mind y'all, try to code it a little bit. Like, I don't mind people speaking harsh, but try to code it, man. We are a syndicate show. We on Google. We on as well as Roku, and we on certain other platforms. So if you want to express yourself, I'll allow you to. But look, the 4-letter words like FU and then all of that stuff, you can't put it out there. And I don't like blocking people at all. But come on, Facebook, please stay away from the hard words that's visible. You could be saying F this, F that, but just don't type it, while you watch it along. We got some big things that's about to happen, and you guys are going to be a part of this thing that we're about to do. Is unbelievable in the next few days, right before Christmas time. I don't want to say it yet, but wait until Thursday and Friday. I'm going to showcase to you guys a beautiful treat that we are able to get out, especially via the sponsors and everything. I really appreciate you guys. Calvin, appreciate you. Appreciate you for the support and your love. He said, what do you know about them bones? Hey, do you play spots and dots, man? Come on, baby. So just all to say, yeah. See, that's a good example. Do it like that, Do it like that, my guy. Still, rise. And we can keep going. If not, then we'll just have to take the chat box away. But let's go.
Because teams are going to have read your mail all year long. And they're going to stop some of the things you do well in the playoffs. So you got to be ready to do something else. It's the art of the deal.
Jerry, it looked like the defense, specifically on the linebacker side, really struggled when Leighton Vander Esch went out early in the game on Sunday. Do you expect that to be an extended absence? And I mean, is there any concern about if Leighton's out for a little while, maybe looking around the waiver wire trying to find a linebacker to add?
No, that I don't see us addressing it from outside at all. But we've really got some good players. That's one of the strengths where we are with our ability, athletic ability, and really football ability, is our linebacker group. And we are going to, we will play better. We've got some guys that Vander Esch, when Vander Esch did leave, they astutely, Jacksonville astutely took advantage of that, and that's a place where we can get better. We can play the scheme the way we want to play it with the people that we've got, even though we don't have Vander Esch for a couple of games, but potentially.
Yeah, shout out to y'all, man. Dr. Jerry now. He's went from Coach Jerry to Dr. Jerry. I should put all of his titles up there. Here's the thing. Vander Esch, I'm going to give him his flowers. Just remarkable so far this season. I know that a lot of people, including me, had the man on the watch bubble because I was definitely banging on the table saying, hey, get Roquan Smith in here at all costs, which wouldn't have been a bad idea, by the way. But for what Vander Esch done to me personally, and I said this also through the course of the weeks, Vander Esch been playing better than Anthony Barr, right? And what I can say here is that the Cowboys had no plans in this game of losing Vander Esch. And by them getting hit with the curveball, it really sullied everything for the Jacksonville Jaguars game. Now that they know that Vander Esch is out for at least 3 weeks or 4 weeks with that shoulder sprain, then what they're going to do is everybody else got to up their game. This should be a situation and scenario that we see Jabril Cox out there. We see the Damone Clark. And, of course, that's more speed. Let's see more of Jabril Cox, less of AB. And I ain't talking about Anthony Brown. I'm talking about Anthony Barr, right? We need to see that. Now, will that happen? I don't know, y'all. I don't make the rules here. I just follow what's going on with the Cowboys. Nate, shout out to you. Is T.Y. Hilton going to be washed up or still decent law? Let me see if I can. Let me pull out the T.Y. Hilton. T.Y. Will you help the Cowboys? Oh, I don't know. My psychic powers are low for this season. But what I can tell you is T.Y. better than James Washington. I don't know. He's older, but he can catch better. Oh, my psychic powers, baby. Oh, it hit me. I don't think that T.Y. would be washed up. Oh, my gosh. Nate, the football goster, reached out to me. Tom Landry himself, the power of Tom Landry he just told me that T.Y. will not be washed. Oh, yeah, come on, T.Y. We ain't got, hey, T.Y. He will help us with no alibi, baby. Come on.
Jerry Jones here on The Fan. How did you feel the rotation worked at right tackle with Peters and Tyron's return?
How did it work?
Tyron was amazing. That's quite an accomplishment for him to come in like that. And I thought Peters did very well. And so that's a good combination. That's really exciting to think that that's what you've got as we go forward here. And so I give it an A+. I feel very good about where we are with Tyron and Peters. But I think certainly you'd like anybody, you'd like to have a couple of them back out there. But when I look at the overall, I like the way our left tackle, the other Smith, he played physical. He was just amazing how physically well.
I heard that, Jerry.
He had a couple of busts or a couple of them get away from him, but in general, he played well too. boy, I really like the way we have shown the position flex, and I really like what we've done to get ready for the next weeks ahead in our offensive line.
So, Jerry.
All right, so, man, I'm going to get in front of it before the hate mongers get here. Oh, I heard him. He called Smith a boy, He I knew it, that Jerry, He said that other Smith boy, and he said, boy, he played good, So don't hate on the man. He ain't calling him boy, So, but it is what it is. Don't y'all be trying to chop and screw that up and get Jerry Jones in the slams, man. Come on, y'all. Hey, Jerry just bit Jerry. He was saying, boy, that boy can play good, not boy. Clifton said, nah, dog, I heard him. I heard what he said, Oh my gosh, man. Jerry. It slipped, man. It slipped. C. Brown says, oh boy. I hope that first take, second take, and undisputed, and everybody else don't get a hold of this. Or Dr. Umar Jackson. That right there, Law Nation, for you protecting Jerry Jones, 1,000 lashes. Don't give me 1,000 lashes, man. But neither here nor there. The Cowboys. Here's my thoughts on this. Hear me out. I like Jason Peters. But at this point and at this time, pick one. Pick one. I don't like the rotation. I don't like it at all. And I think that the rotations at right tackle is cool, but it's still a rhythm. It's an understanding. It's also one thing I can tell you for sure. If you look up Tyron, if you look at Lawcoon, 2023, appreciate you. But no, come on, my dog Terrace, but she appreciate you. But here's the thing that we got to say with this: the Dallas Cowboys with Jason Peters. I like what he brings to the table, but if you look at the body structure of Tyron Smith and Jason Peters, and if you go all the way down the line of who will be healthier from a cardio rhythm, I think it will be Tyron Smith. I think that the Cowboys kind of wasted that moment of getting this guy in complete game day shape. Think about it. Whenever he used to come back, they just put him there. They didn't rotate him. So what we need in these next 3 weeks, if Tyron Smith is going to be the guy that's on their right side, just keep him there until he get hurt. Then you put Jason Peters in or something like that. But don't rotate the man. I want him to get all of the reps, greedy. And if you want to add Jason Peters into the mix, nothing wrong with going jumbo set, make him a fullback, and then just rotate him out to the edge there. Make him a tight end, put him out to the edge, max pro. Then you'll have on the right side Zach Martin, Tyron, and Jason Peters. You can run flood concept that way. That can be a devastating package. Tyron Smith is good. I like what he brings to the table. But then you can have Jason Peters. He's now checked in as a tight end, right? That can be your power pro set. Matter of fact, on 3rd and 4, I know he could have got banged up a little bit, Jason Peters. But on 3rd and 4 on overtime, I wouldn't mind if they were to, instead of going 3 wides, I wouldn't mind for you take one of those wide receivers out and you put Jason Peters in, right? And have a jumbo package. Have a hell of a jumbo package there, right? 3rd and 4, shoot, run to that side. Or 3rd and 10 when the game was in regulation. Hey, 3rd and 10. Man, why they got Peters out there? Why they got Tyron? Why they got doggone Zach Martin and all of those boys? Hey, they definitely going to run this ball again. They definitely gonna run this ball again, and then you can do play action out of that on 3rd and 10 if you're gonna throw the ball, not sending everybody on 9 verts or what have you. That would have been an aggressive package, right or wrong. Is that an aggressive package, right or wrong?
See if you think that this is fair, just a fan sentiment, and some of us, that the contender status for the Cowboys, 10-4 in the postseason, but it feels like with San Francisco and Philly, we've taken a little bit of a step backwards in terms of contender status. Is that fair, or you think an overreaction?
Overreaction, baby. I refuse to put the 49ers or the Eagles in front of me. It's a any given Sunday, baby. It's a any given Sunday. I refuse. Oh, Lord, that's just a homer in you. No. Any given Sunday, y'all. And one thing I can tell you for sure, 2 things for certain. As much as we dog Kellen Moore, which we do, the Eagles are a common opponent. And as much as we finna play the 49ers again, they about to be converted into a common opponent. It's not like, I get it. You know, the 49ers beat us in the playoff last year. I get all of that. But it was down to the 14 seconds. Quarterback sneak. And we had 14 penalties. We clean up the penalties, maybe we win. We clean up the fact of game planning, maybe we win. If we run the ball, maybe we would have won that game, right? Come on, baby. Eric Stewart said you in denial. Well, it is what it is. I stand true. Look, just like my guy Brandon, he's standing on that hill about Dak Prescott. I'm standing on this hill about my Cowboys. The only team that can beat the Dallas Cowboys are the Dallas Cowboys. The Cowboys, didn't we lose that game on Sunday? We lost the game more so than the Jacksonville Jaguars won the game. That could be the same story and situation that we can spit upon the Green Bay Packers game. Excuse me, that could be the same story and situation that we can spit upon even the Eagles when we had our backup quarterback. Y'all let me know how many yards Ezekiel Elliott was averaging, and we tried to be super aggressive on our side of the field. How many interceptions Cooper? He threw 2 or 3 or something like that. The only team y'all fail to realize. Now the Buccaneers, they linebackers came out and said they knew exactly what the Cowboys were going to do before we did it, right? And we were averaging good chunks of yards, even in that game, of running the ball. The only team that can stop the Cowboys are the Dallas Cowboys. Y'all leave me alone, baby. Y'all leave me alone. Let me stand on this hill and stand with my thoughts of this, because I truly believe that the Cowboys lost the game more so than the Jaguars won it this past game. That's all I can say. I'm going to see what Jerry say.
I hate the negative, and you say, well, you're always trying to gild the lily, Jerry, and maybe I do. But step back seems a little harsh. We've got to realize that when we get there, the San Francisco is going to be really ready to play, even though they're on their 3rd quarterback. And so everybody's coming in with some challenges. By the time we get there, we've got a chance to be really substantively better than we were against Jacksonville. We can be.
Yeah.
And but one of them is Tyron, the very one you're talking about. He will get better as
Come on, baby. We're too optimistic over here.
Even though that you're talking about probably a Hall of Famer. But so we can do that at various parts of our team. And we're so lucky to be able to sit here and say we can be better by the end of after we've played these last 3 games.
My guy, man, William Anthony Law, are you being a homer or a businessman? No. But think about what he just said. We can be better. Put it like this, and I know a lot of people don't want this lipstick that I'm going to put all over this pig to make it look prettier, because, man, Come on, get a little bit bigger, baby. Get a little bit bigger. Y'all hear me out. I'm going to put some lipstick on this thing right here. Was it Maybelline? Well, I don't know all the lipsticks out there, but maybe it's Maybelline. Let me make her big, baby. Ooh, look at the striations in them arms, baby, and the pearls around the neck. Let me say this right quick. Hear me out. Are we a better team now than what we were in the last 10 to 15 years? Yes or no? Because we are doing things that we haven't done since 06 and 07. So I won that debate up front. We are better because we are in back-to-back playoff situations. And we made it back-to-back playoff. We haven't done that since 06 and 07, ladies and gentlemen. We haven't done that since then. So first and foremost, from a regular season standpoint, this doesn't mean anything. But what Jerry is saying, Coach Jerry Jones is saying, go on, get out the way, pig. I'm getting hungry. Might want to revert back to eating bacon. But what he is saying is that if you fool around in these next 3 weeks, we get T.Y. Hilton up to speed. He will be better than what we've seen out of James Washington. He should be better than what we can see out of Noah Brown, right? He should be elevated better if possible. These are all ifs and this is all maybes. But we got 3 weeks to do the evaluation for the nation. We got 3 weeks for T.Y. Hilton to figure out this situation, and can he be better than Michael Gallup, or can he be added to the equation to be better overall? And I'm quite sure I'm going to lean on the aspect of him being better. On top of that, if you get this situation good with Tyron Smith, you will have a unique situation that even that Terrence Steele is out. We have a good situation for Tyron Smith to be evaluated to be better than him, or elevated better than him. So that's what we're saying. We're 10-4. We're 10-4. We can flat out win these next 3 games and be 13-4, and that will be equivalent from a record standpoint better than 12-5. Yes or no? Yes or no? Right? Come on, baby. And don't forget about the fact that we are working out Trayvon Mullen to compete on that opposite side of Trayvon Diggs. And I like Trayvon Mullen's skill set as it relates to press, as it relates to his speed, as it relates to his willingness to come down and field. Those 3 things, very valuable. Now, far as from a continuity aspect, this is what I want. If Trayvon Mullen beats out all of those boys on the outside and we have Bland in the inside, I promise you, ladies and gentlemen, all we got to have is that safety help over the top with a super aggressive corner who played in the National Football League for more than a year, juxtaposed to what Kelvin Joseph been doing. We better. All of those ifs, like too, much like the Black Hennessy. I feel you. So are you trying to articulate that we are worse than what we are at 10-4? Huh? Are we worse? Are we worse than what we are in the last 15 years? Are we worse? I don't think that nobody can put out a sentence of us being worse than what we were 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 10 years ago. We can't. You can't articulate that we are worse. We are better. So William Anthony says we are the same. Well, we are the same than what we are last year. Then that equates that everybody got a level of experiences that now they can lean on, and they can go into the situation and say, hey, last year when we was at this moment, we've been here before. We pulled together. We eliminated the penalties. There's a lot of things that goes unseen, right? We didn't have more penalties last game. In the last 2 games, we weren't double-digit penalties. So we go into a playoff game now and we minimize the double-digit penalties. Then, baby, we're better. We're better. Come on.
That's the key. Not what you saw this weekend, but what you're going to see when we get in those playoffs. and we have a chance. We've got the weeks to do it. We're not sitting here talking about been in the playoff game in Jacksonville, won the game. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about a month to get this team better, and we can do it.
We can do it.
Jerry, speaking of getting this team better, you were quoted by USA Today as saying Odell's going to join us. How close is that to happening?
I don't have an assessment of that, but as of this morning, we don't have anything. But I don't have an assessment. The reality is, though, that time is moving on down the road relative to being playing in the playoffs, and so every day diminishes our chances of getting going forward.
Jerry, you guys have been in pursuit of Odell Beckham. You added.
We got some news from my guy, man. I love when I hear this, man. I love when I hear this. Hold on. Let me get it together. Come on. More news out of what the Cowboys been doing this particular practice. We got information from Cowboys wide receiver T.Y. Hilton, said he's called the Ghost because 1 second he's next to a defender and the next thing he's gone. Does he need to show the league he's still the Ghost? I just need to show the team we're playing that you're still going to have to account for me. I love it, man. So T.Y., the Ghost Hilton. Let's see, can he ghost some of the Eagles defenders this weekend? Let's see, can he ghost some of the Titans defender the next week? And let's see, can he ghost who we play on the last season, the Washington team, on the final stretch there. I think that I like that nickname, T.Y., the Ghost of Christmas past, baby. It's about to get nasty, baby. Medieval. James Washington was called the Ghost too. Yeah, that's the booger bear right there.
T.Y. Hilton. I know Michael Gallup was struggling coming off that ACL injury. We all thought that he had kind of turned a corner and was playing much better. Last couple weeks, just 3 catches total. Is that a function of needing to get him more involved in the offense, or do you think Michael Gallup's still just trying to find his game again?
We need to get him more involved, and he
Coach.
can be. And but I will say this: when you run the ball as much as we did, which I'm all for, when you run the ball as much as we did, it's hard to get everybody as involved as you want them.
That's bullsugar though. But let me see if we can rewind just a little bit. Let me rewind just a little bit more.
More involved. And
it had kind of turned a corner and was playing much better. Last couple weeks, just 3 catches total. Is that a function of needing to get him more involved in the offense, or do you think Michael Gallup's still just trying to find his game again?
We need to get him more involved, and he can be. And but I will say this: when you run the ball as much as we did, which I'm all for, when you run the ball as much as we did, it's hard to get everybody as involved as you want them.
All right, so that's Coach Jerry Jones saying that we need to get Michael Gallup more involved. That should be a conversation that he, Coach Jerry Jones, or owner, or general manager, or doctor, should have with the offensive coordinator. And when you can utilize screen passes as runs, right? Because he said when you run the ball as much as we did, we ran the ball 41 times, ladies and gentlemen. That split is north of 60% out of shotgun. And when you run out of shotgun, when your win rate, your pass block win rate is in the bottom half of the league, that is not running to the strength of your team. Why? We can barely pass block when we pass. So what you're showcasing here is that when you are in shotgun, you're trying to run out of it. That's hustling backwards. I need to see power sets. I need to see pro sets. I need to see I formations. I need to see showing that my quarterback is under center, that I can control those two high safeties that's sitting on the top of the roof, that one of them got to commit down inside to showcase the aggressive standpoint that we are going to run it down your throat. So it's going to dictate how your formation is lined up so that my boys can run the ball. I think both of the running backs average right at 3.9, close to 4 yards per toe. Right? I want it to be third and short. I want it to be third and short. I want it to be third and short. Let me repeat again. I want it to be third and short. But when you run out of shotgun, it will keep that same formation. But on top of that, it does not set up the ability to kill teams with the play action. And it doesn't put the weight from your offensive line to slow down, to be that aggressive standpoint, to wear down the opposing team. It's not manipulation. It's not doing none of those things. So I want the Cowboys to get back into their bag of showcasing real power versus finesse power. Real power, not finesse power.
And so, but that's what we've got. That's what we want to be having this conversation. Guys, did we run the ball too much? Do we need to make more opportunities for these receivers? But the game played to our hand, and we're sitting here about Gallup not getting enough touches or enough balls in his direction. What we wanted to do was what we did, and that is run the ball. And then we wanted to make them get in a situation where we could pin our ears back and rush him, and we didn't get it done. But we can win with that formula. And if so, then I hope to be having some conversations about, well, we need to have Gallup or, of course, Brown played the absolute best game of his career. It's a shame that he had to drop because up until then he was outstanding.
You get what you pay for, right? You're like that's in life. Like if you go to Walmart and go purchase the Shacks, it doesn't elevate your game, right? It doesn't diminish your game, right? One can argue those Shack shoes, man, they probably last forever, But that rubber comes off, the laces come undone, you slipping and sliding all throughout, right? Because of the materials that's used and utilized. Or, it goes like it is. My car got run flats, right? Not saying that the tire, I could just go with just being flat. But the run flats are good. It don't damage the rim. I still got to change out the tire like any other. But you get what you pay for, right? Or you get with what's inside of you. There's a law of diminishing rates of return. Noah Brown, shout out to him. He had his best game. But in the winding minutes, I'm not looking for Noah Brown. I'm not. I'm looking for my playmakers. Look, in the 90s, we had the playmakers. Not just the playmaker, but playmakers. Emmett, Irv, right? Jay Novacek. We wasn't looking for the third wideout. Maybe Alvin Harper, but we wasn't looking for the third wideout. We weren't trying to get crafty for the third. We were trying to get crafty for Irvin. We was trying to get crafty for Jay. Right? So somehow, one way or another, and that's way in the 90s, but I can go through a list of other teams. Now, I know it's crass for me to say this about Noah Brown, right? But this pick six, if the ball touch your hand, you got to figure out a way. You got to figure out a way to capture. Let me start over.
Let's talk about this drop that turned into an INT.
It's
First
me
and
early.
foremost, the ball hit Noah Brown in between the 8 and 5. Now it bounced off his hand. Number 2, capitalize. That's what you want to do if you're a DB. Nevertheless, the Cowboys dialed up a plan for Noah Brown and not CeeDee Lamb. And this was 3rd and 4, overtime, big moment. If you're the offensive coordinator, you got to draw up a plan for CeeDee Lamb. He is your number 1. Noah Brown last season was the 4th or the 5th option. There's no way that he should be given this opportunity. Granted, he had a really, really good game. 2 touchdowns in this game, but you got to get your ball out to the playmaker. Now, you get what you got from this play. Shout out to the Jacksonville Jaguars for the win, but the Cowboys dropped this one. Let's talk about
So that's just what's going on with that, man. And I'm not raining on Noah Brown. Shout out to him. But last year, he was your 5th option. And you elevated this man all the way being on that last drive to be your number 1 option. It's feast or famine. I get all of that. Last week, he made a pivotal catch, diving out, stretching out, right? I'm not finna discount the man for that. But at some point, when you are the offensive coordinator, you still got to figure out ways to put Tony Pollard in that moment, put Ezekiel Elliott in that moment. We got Michael Gallup in that moment. Even though he was cold, you also got CeeDee Lamb. You can't tell me you can't figure out a play or a scheme to get those dudes the ball, juxtaposed to Noah Brown. And this is not his first time where is he playing tip drill with the ball. It must be because it ain't your face. I need a tip drill, That's all I can think of in that situation. Let's listen to more what he had to say.
Yeah.
Jerry, there's reports that Jalen Hurts, could miss this game with a shoulder. As fans, we're like, just get him out of here. Let's get the easy win. But like for you, do you like to see the other team at full strength to get a good kind of idea of where your team is and kind of a benchmark?
Just by the nature of this conversation we're having this morning, we've got our hands full. It's a legitimate question. But no, I don't give it a lot of thought as to who's over on the other side. Frankly, if this thing were more decisive about the winner of this automatically got the bye through the playoffs, then that might be something that I would have spent more attention to. But right now, I've got all of mine on the Cowboys and what we can do to get better, no matter who their quarterback is.
Ooh, wait. Basically, Jerry said, turn up the fire. Where my fire button at? I don't care who their quarterback is. It can be a baby. We're going to try to make sure we bring forth everything. Everything. Now, that's the kind of conversation that I need to hear. I don't care who their quarterback is. I don't care who they benching. Who going to be their starter. Who. I don't care. Bring me the fire. Let's roast them birds. That should be the philosophy because we got 3 weeks. 3 weeks. 3 weeks. We in the playoff, law. We need to start resting. No, we got 3 weeks. Let the Eagles rest. Let them get comfortable. Let them go pretty much to the mindset that they already accomplished everything. It's quite funny to me that even Mike McCarthy, the one Super Bowl that he got on his resume as a head coach, they came into the playoff humbled and hungry. But the time when they went to the playoff 15-1, they had an early exit. So it's not about, I want to get this into y'all mental. It's not about being the number 1 seed. It's about getting hot. It's about getting hungry. It's about being ready. It's about making sure that you uncover everything that you expose, that were exposed. and make the necessary corrections. That's the philosophy. But I got so many people who's worrying about the potatoes and they miss the meat. Get focused. You got 3 weeks. Now we got tendencies, which going to be the tendencies. We got tendencies, which going to be the tendencies. Let me repeat. We got tendencies, which going to be the tendencies out of Kellen Moore. But dog it, we won more games than we lost. How can we get to that mindset, to the winning formula? How can we stay on the winning side? Those are the things. Now, the critics and the detractors are going to say that we are the accident waiting to happen. What can go wrong will go wrong, right? But I can tell you one thing. The people that say that, they surely didn't see us being in the playoff this year. I can book that. I can bet that. But all they can do now is pick up the goalpost and move it back a little further. Let me know if I'm wrong on that. Because when Dak went down week 1, I promise you, they was keying and celebrating, popping champagne bottles and drinking Hennessy and pulling out the cigars. Look, I told you the Cowboys, 1 year they're in the playoff, the next year they're not. But lo and behold, even though we lost, we made it back to the playoffs, back to back. That's one accomplishment, regardless of how people like to sully and excoriate that and move it to the side. But you can't argue with the fact that the Cowboys are in. Now, since we know that we're in, how do we get better? How do we make sure that we don't revisit these type of issues? Now, granted, after the Cowboys, hear me out, lost to the Green Bay, we was pissed off and we went on a spree. We went on a little mini spree. I need for the Cowboys to go on another one just after this loss to make sure that they correct their wrongs. Let's go. Richard Coleman, appreciate you. Hey, Law, we have to take the donut off of the car. At wide receiver, we are riding. Yeah, I love this analogy. We are riding around on the donut tires. Happy holiday. Yep. Woo! That's a double comment. When you think of Noah Brown, and I'm not putting any salt on the man, nor shade, he was that donut. And when you read the instructions for those who have cars, right, who change out the tires when you have a flat, it says do not exceed over 50 miles nor travel faster than 50 miles per hour. Because you guys got to understand, can the car still move with the donut? Yes. Can the car still get you to point A to point B? Yes. But can the car be reliable when it starts raining? When the terrain is different? With that donut on the car? Maybe. And that is what happened with Noah Brown throughout the course of this year. There have been some moments that we had to travel more than 50 miles per hour and the car started shaking. There were some moments when the car needed to climb a hill and you got a donut or a spare tire and the weight distribution started making the car shake. And that's what we seen out of this last game. I'm not throwing shade at the man. But what I'm saying is that there are caps and there are limits to certain people, game sets or skill set, and he had just went right above that. The moment the stage was too bright. Just like Coach, what's his name? Coach Mr. 30. I love his analysis. The moment's too big, it's too bright, he pissed down his leg. You know what I'm saying? However he go with those type of situations. I love that man film analysis and breakdown. Y'all check him out. What's his name? Coach 30? I forgot his name, but it's Mr. Coach 30 or something like that. That dude is awesome. I guarantee you he probably said that on his analysis, right? So that MG30, yeah, MG30, yeah, man, the dude is phenomenal, man. Coach MG30, y'all check out his stuff. Just phenomenal. One of the best at the business of doing that. Car shaking, that's just what it is. Noah Brown was that doggone donut tie. But what we can do, ladies and gentlemen, we got 3 weeks. 3 weeks to fix this thing up, put a real tie on, and we can get rolling. And baby, come into the playoff humble and hungry. I want my guys to have the mindset with the PhD, poor, hungry, and determined to make things happen. We on the road throughout the entire playoff. We should be the underdogs. Everybody else should be the overdog, however they call it. And let us hit them with the element of surprise, and let's get this thing going. I know the detractors going to say, look, this is who the Cowboys are. They are accident waiting to happen. But this right here, ladies and gentlemen, let them do their talking. You know, Noah is a dog. Yeah, he's a dog. He's a dog. But have you ever seen a bigger dog? You know what I mean? Sometimes you had that little dog. A Shih Tzu will protect his master all the way up to the point. And then you do like this as a trail of urine, you know. That dog, that Shih Tzu was a really good dog. That poodle was a really good dog. It was just a lot of barking, but wanted to protect the house. But sometimes you need to bring in a bigger dog, right? No shade at my guy Noah Brown. He's a dog, but we looking for a big dog. Law, do you ever think we ever get a West Coast style of OC? Well, you got a West Coast style of head coach. I think if the choice was up to him, he would have found a West Coast offensive coordinator pre-sham talk. But, you know, we got the vertical spread offense, and this is a variations of Jason Garrett, Scott Linehan style of offense. And one can argue Jason Garrett was more of a run, power pro set style of offense, but this is the variations of such. He got a little bite, though, Paul. I ain't saying he's a bark but no bite dude. He's a dog in between a Shih Tzu and a Doberman pitcher. I don't know. Maybe they mix together. I don't know. But I'm not saying that Noah don't have any bite to him. They'll be reckless of me saying that. He got a little bite to him. But he ain't like that dog that you see over there and you say, hey, man, leave that dog alone. He ain't that dog. Down, boy. You know, some of them people, you know, you got different variations of dogs, right? You know, you got some dogs that you look at and say, oh, it's so cute and cuddly, and then he bites you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, damn, that dog bite, you know. And then you got some dogs you say, hey, man, leave that dog over there, man. Oh, my dog is nice. He don't bite, man. I don't care. He got teeth. Leave that dog over there. And then you got some dogs, you know, that everybody run in the house. Oh, man, Cucho got off the leash, man. Oh, man, all right, man. We leave the basketball court early, you know. Hey, man, Cujo got off his leash, man. You got some dogs that when he get off his leash, you be like, all right, that's okay, man. You know, kibbles and bits, he ain't going to do anything. He just all bite, you know. Teacup poodles, you know. Yes, indeed. DC Cujo, yeah. Yeah, so, but this dog, Noah Brown, he's a dog that got a little bite and he got a little bark, you know. He don't bite. He got teeth.
Jerry, last question. It was reported that from the owners' meetings that the NFL wanted to remind teams how much money is being spent on coaches who are no longer employed. Oh, what did you make of that and the reason for it? I mean, you guys are businessmen who know how much money you're losing or gaining. What was the reason for the league reminding teams of that? Is it just about continuity?
No, it's about the amount of money that is going there, and first, the obvious is the context of the message or the memo. But more importantly than anything, if you have policies that allow coaches that if some other team wants them to come work for them, and you have a contract and you put in the contract, or don't put in the contract, but we're just allowing move around, which is another issue. Well, when you do that, you disrupt the sanctity of the agreement, because the coach stays even if the head coach leaves. Now, that's a mouthful, and I apologize to the listeners out here. But they're just reminding everybody.
Coach stays even though the head coaches leave. Let me see if I might be reading too much in there. Let me hear him again.
Another issue. Well, when you do that, you disrupt the sanctity of the agreement, because the coach stays even if the head coach leaves. Now, that's a mouthful, and I apologize to the listeners out here. But they're just reminding everybody that you're doing a lot of valuable resource for coaches that are being paid that aren't coaching.
Coaches are being paid even though they're not coaching. All right, so I got my guy, Philadelphia Top Dogs. Appreciate you, man. Eagles, real dogs. Cowboys are little cats. The proof is in the pudding for the last 27 years. Technically, a cat will beat the mess out of a dog, right? But there's different variations of cats, right? There's a cool cat, right? But I see what you're saying. But for the last 27 years, by us being the little dog that's been on vacation, that's been sitting back chilling, how come your dog haven't caught up with the big dog, even though the big dog is sitting on the porch? I need to know that answer. Can somebody break that down for Philadelphia? Like, how come they haven't caught up with any of the other dogs that's in this division? How come they haven't caught up with the Washington team? How come they didn't catch up with the Giants in the last 27 years? How come that dog only got one bone? We got 5 bones, right? And they trying to take our bone, but they still can't take our bone. They got the one bone. Our dog got 5. Giants got 4. The Washington team done changed their name multiple times, and they still got more bones than y'all. Why y'all dog don't only got one bone in the last 27 years? Can somebody please let me know? We got old bones that's still valuable, more valuable than their one bone. Let me know. Can somebody point that out to me? Now, even if you want to go to the aspect of being the cat, you see that cat-like quickness, that we just done claw up this whole situation. Can somebody break it down? Here come Law Nation off of the analogies. No, that's the truth. And the truth shall set you free.
The truth! You can't handle the truth!
You can't handle the truth. Yes, I give y'all praises for winning that Super Bowl in 2017. Matter of fact, by you guys winning that Super Bowl, that really shines more light on us because of our division, right? It's because now we can literally say, finally, the dog that had no teeth got a pair of teeth, and now he got him one little bone. And watch, we've been sitting back for the last 5 years watching you play with that little bone. But it's been 5 years now, so let's see what y'all gonna do this year. According to everybody, critics, and even the pundits and beyond, the Eagles fan base and around the world, you guys should win this Super Bowl. But let's say now the spotlight is on you. You the dog that's with all of the bones, supposedly, in your corner. Let's figure this out. Come on, y'all. Don't y'all block Philadelphia. Now, please don't block Philadelphia, because this is good, valuable information from his father, Law Nation, down upon him. And maybe he could learn a little about a dog in his bone. Let's go, baby. Y'all need to catch up. 2 things can't be true. But one of the things that's true right now, that in the midst of 27 years, you guys just got one. That's nothing more valuable than that, right? Oh, y'all won. Yeah, they got that one. but it's far away from 5. Come on, baby. What kind of math is this man been doing? Yes, indeed.
And that is, when you think about it, that's just, you go, duh, of course you are. If you make those kind of contracts and you change coach, the new coach comes in and he wants a different coach as his line coach.
Yeah.
So they don't stay. So you eat that if you're a club. And I understand it, and that's one area where each club manages its own dollars.
No doubt, no doubt. So to that degree there, that interview is anywhere from, I want to say 30 minutes long. So check out it. It's Jerry Jones, Jaguars expose several areas Cowboys need to work on. And I would rather try to work on it now versus you can't work on it once the season is over with. So work on it now. And then, well, you can't work on it, but you guys get what I'm saying. Sudden death when you get to the playoff, win or go home. Yes, indeed. Stelios, they need to pull out that 2016 playbook. How about them Cowboys? Yeah. Yes, indeed. They need to. Yes, indeed. Eagles won a bowl with their backup, built him a statue, and then shipped him out. Bobby Jones, they did. Hey, Eagles fans are celebrating their quarterback, Jalen Hurts, right? And they're saying he's the MVP. But when you contextualize all that he's doing, he's just having a season like what Dak Prescott had in 2016. Similar, right? So look at them. Look at them. Look at them. They want to be happy with what their quarterback did. And it's the same what our quarterback did in his rookie year. That's just crazy. But now they want to embellish all what he's doing now. So shout out to Jalen Hurts. Got 3 more weeks. We'll see what they can do down the stretch. Nevertheless, the Dallas Cowboys are a team that's the most hated, the most loved, and it is what it is. And that's just why it is. Yeah. So this is the thing that we all have to say to ourselves as we get on up out of here. Ain't no party like a cowboy party, baby. And I get it. No, everybody want to be us, right? That's what it is. That's just what it is. They want to represent the silver and blue, and that's just what it is. They want to. A third of their fan base is probably closet Cowboy fans anyhow. Hey, what's going on with your team this weekend? Oh, I don't know, but I know what the Cowboys are doing. That's just how it goes, man. All right, so as we get on up out of here, be sure to check the other content creators out. Like I said, there will be no final word tonight, but there will be NFC East talk. Cowboys on one corner, the Eagles in another corner. The round table, baby. Tonight, 7:30 Central Texas time for your mind. I can't wait for this weekend to go through. We got 3 weeks, regardless of how they try to paint the picture. We are in the playoffs. It's not how you start, it's how you finish. And this is what the Cowboys must do. Continue to get better. Never feel like they accomplish anything. I like the word expose. The word expose means to reveal, to show, to uncover. Well, lift up the errors of our ways. Lift them up and work on them. Got 3 weeks to get right. Cowboy Nation. Finish the fight. Ain't that right? Trade. Let's go. Let's go. Dak Prescott, get right. You see, people want to pull up the fact that he got 11 INTs. Well, over a third of them come off the hands of the wide receiver. Dak trying to put the ball and fit it into a hole. Shout out to you, Stelios, again. How about them Cowboys? Dust off those 2016 playbook. How about them Cowboys? Appreciate you. I tell people this all the time. When you're up against your struggles, meet it squarely face to face. Lift your chin, set your shoulders, plant your feet and take a brace. When it's vain to try to dodge it, do the best that you can do. You may fall, you may conquer. See it through. Black may be the clouds about you, and your future may seem grim, but don't let your nerve desert you. Keep yourself in fighting trim, Cowboy Nation. If worse is bound to happen, in spite of all that you do, remember this, running from it will not save you. It will not. Even hope may seem dimmed with trouble or be set, but remember, you're facing what other legends have met. Roger Staubach, Troy Aikman, Emmett, the Playmaker, Jay Novacek. Come on, baby. See this thing through. Keep your head high, eyes all the way through the finish. See it through. Finish the fight. That's the mentality you got to have. If you wrote that down and commit it to your memory, in life, opportunities will open up for you. You say, I never gave up. I continue to fight. A prize fighter, even when he's down, he continued to swing. Unless he's Nate Robinson. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. That's been my time. I really thank you all for yours. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Go Cowboys. Get out of here, haters. Get out of here. Go to your room. Come on, baby.
I just wanna run it up.
Let's go.
I've been really in the field, let up, yeah. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Roll.
Don't need no deals, I make the deal. Have to take it to a meal. Lately, I just wanna run it up.
Calvin, appreciate you. Roscoe, Nate, salute to you. Richard, Pre-Sham Talk, Stelios 300, Cowboy. Be sure to tell Sadiq happy birthday. Her birthday was on the 18th. Shout out to Sadiq. She a real one. Charge it to the game. C. Brown, appreciate you. James Simmons, appreciate you. Trey on the Facebook, salute. Gina, let's go. Hey. Oh.
You just rock what's on the shelf and I'm not feeling it.
Right.
Search for the one, but baby girl, it's nothing real as this. Can't trust a soul, I keep a hammer, call it to the gym. I've been really in the field, let her rush, I let her feel.
Can somebody in the chat put down Dak Prescott record versus the Eagles? Come on. Come on. I need to see that number. Can somebody put that down? Let me know. Did he lose more or did he win more against those Eagles? Come on, baby. Hey. Hey. Come on. 7-3.
I be at home alone. I be in zones alone. I be on road alone.
Put some lights on this thing. Coach Jerry Jones and the Ghost, T.Y. Hilton. He's actually 7-2, but we'll put 7-3 because he didn't even play in that last game of the rookie season. But it is what it is, 7-3. Weaver says 8-3 coming soon to a Cowboys community near you. $1,800s, the Eagles titles. Greg Berry, you funny. Shout out to Philadelphia, top Eagles fan. Appreciate you. Can you put / cowboy in your title too? Oh, that's press ham. My bad. Oh, that's press ham. Okay. I was trying to say pre-sham. Okay, press ham. Okay, I got you. I owe your twin a few shots. I feel you, Stelios. Y'all stay tuned. I'm trying to read all of your comments. I appreciate you. Shout out to you, Stelios, for being a member for 25 months. That's a long time. I follow. Darnell, thank you for the 100 stars on Facebook. Akeem, appreciate you, Smith. Ghostface Gaming, appreciate you. Dak just getting all his picks out the way. Ghostface getting his picks out the way for the playoffs. By the time playoff time, he won't be able to give anyway. That's what it is. Just giving away. Just being generous, Dak. Let me see if I can hit this note. I follow. Come on. Shout out to you, Thomas Brown. Alval 24. Appreciate you. Shout out to you, Brandon. Not Rick. Ross. Appreciate you. Press Ham. Thank you for becoming a sponsor. Hit that note. Watch this note.
Fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
No doubt.
Simply because you don't have evidence that something does exist does not mean that you have evidence that something doesn't exist.
You have to be your biggest fan. And when things are really tough and they're really rough.
Until next time, Cowboy Nation.
But there's something inside
We're
of
out.
you that says,
DC for life.
follow that. Because you don't know who you're going to meet, who you're going to meet, who you're going to meet.